So I hope you can hear me now. I think I have that. I think I have it right. Camera, mic. Let me go back in here. Audio. It says it's working. Okay, so hopefully my audio is going. Put headphones into your phone and unmute. I'm actually using the laptop. Yes, I can hear you now. Yay! Thank you so much, Mike. So, real quick, the piece I'm going to do first, because I have two ready. So the haiku is darkness around me, quietly comfortable, to sleep away day. That's the haiku. And this is the artwork that I did to go with that haiku. And this is what's in the color illustrated graphic one that I have. But since a haiku has the 3 lines, I got the idea of kind of in the lines of this new world of exploring different ways of presenting my poetry. This is a basic comic book format, of course. I did stuff to it. I made the lines wiggly, as you can see, they're not straight. I moved boxes around. This is where I excel, in the fact that I've used Word and PDFs and Publisher, and I've used those for decades. So when it comes to making something like this part, that was fine. Okay, so going back to where we started. So I love the haiku. Where did I put it? That is so weird. All right, I'll just come up. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is my haiku, and I'm going to put it in front of me because what I did to get an idea of what I'm doing, what I did to do this. Where did I put it? Story of my life. I know, right? So I had no plan. So, okay. So here I am. I sat with this today. I got my mojo going. I got my flavor of okay, Dory, you're creating something new. And I had the poem in front of me. I had the haiku in front of me, and this is what came out of me. So we have the first, second, and third. And I know it's, I guess I should wait. Oh yeah, it is upside down. It was upside down for me. It should be right size for you guys. So, I don't need to worry too much about a lot of detail, because I am going to probably do these very similar to the other pieces where they have strong, bold colors and are separated by a lot of black lines. And so there's that. So over here, I got the first part of the poem where it's talking about darkness around me. So what I did in my first box is real simple. I have a little bit of a star, and I have part of the moon. Now, granted, you're not going to get you're not going to see a whole heck of a lot of imagination right now, because all I'm really doing right now is putting the pencil to what I sketched. Because again, I've never done this before. So I'm trying to go as slow as possible and in phases, one thing at a time, so I get kind of an idea of what I'm doing and how I want it to look. Because ultimately, that's what one of the challenges and one of the pains with this whole process was reminding myself over and over again that my kind of art is very original, which is, there's nothing wrong with any other way people do what they do. Fuck, man, your art's your art. Do your art your way. That's as far as I care. So otherwise, I had to remind myself of that over and over again, because I kept wanting to I don't know why. When I started this whole thing, I kept wanting to follow some dictate of something that was in my head, and it wasn't anything anybody said. Nobody was telling me to do anything any particular way. My head wanted to try to tell me I had to do it some different way. like a, you know, and I know it's just because it's what happens when you're in, you know, it's not really a new medium per se. It's just a new thought process. It's kind of like when it's very similar to when I shifted from just simply writing poetry to writing it, speaking it, recording the actual vocals. That was one thing. And then last year I would add, you know, I added music to the vocals, and I did a bunch of lyric spoken word videos. And this year I took that to the next level and actually did the vocals, but also created the music. Oh my God. Earlier when I was live, I was playing my music, telling myself, oh, you know, I can play my own music because, you know, don't you know, this is my music on my album and blah blah blah. And I'm such a smart ass, and I think I'm bucking some system and I'm winning. And then Facebook tells me it muted my music from today earlier because of a copyright issue, and I'm like, I am the copyright. And I started laughing, and I'm like, I am such a dork. I'm such a dork. You know, I produced and distributed and have my own first spoken word poetry music album out there, and then I play the music to it, not even thinking about the fact that it was gonna come through as a freaking copyright thing. I was cracking up at myself. Oh. I think even for me, even though I know what's here, even though I have an idea of what's about to happen and what I sketched here. Yes, Facebook is exactly like that. I know. Well, it's me. You know, it didn't even occur to me. You know what's funny? When I've played the videos of those, like with me speaking, I've never gotten that happen because I've done that before. I've gone live and played my videos, but this was just the music without the vocals, and it must have some kind of technical algorithm thing it does in the system, because it knew that music was something that had been published. It was very weird. So you know, lesson learned. That's okay. I actually have like 3 mixes on my phone that I need to put onto my computer and go through them and do the other mixing and stuff that I want to do with them, so that I can start creating some more music tracks, because so yeah, like this camera is kind of high, and I'm like wondering if you guys are even going to be able to see what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. Wait, come here. Oh, that's what it is. It's not even. Nope. Like, makes me wonder. I used to have it down below, and I put it above my work, hoping that, oh yeah, I guess you guys can see. I just want to make sure, because kind of, you know, like, what's the point of having anyone see what I'm doing, right? No worries, we could see it fine. Okay. That's good to know, because I'm sitting here going, I don't know, like, what can I do? Okay. There we go. Where was I? Oh yeah, his face. So this poem again, you know, so then I got darkness around me, you know. Okay, a moon and a star. I know that's not very original. That's what I got. When I get to the next phase, because I often do, when I get into the world of like shading, and then I start adding detail, who the hell knows what's going to happen up here. Then I get to this next middle section, which is the line, quietly comfortable. And I started with a mountain. I haven't even sketched the mountain part. I'm sketching the guy. This guy actually came out of my mountain. There was a part of the mountain that ended up, when I stepped back and looked away, I get this guy looking at me. Actually, he's not looking at me. He's looking at this sleeping figure over here, because that's the last part of it, is the person sleeping. So in addition to, so each haiku in the series is basically going to have the full page art that I did, that ones that I have done, and then each one is going to have a pictorial of like this, of the 3 different parts of it. I almost think my light is too bright. No. Oh, wait, there we go. Oh, there we go. It's like lighting is good, but it was almost too bright. It's too bright. It's almost like it's not even on. It's like, what's the... That's fine. Okay. So I have this thing that I do in a lot of my paintings where when it comes to faces, I, rather than do any actual pieces of the face, I sometimes often just separate it out and compartmentalize it. It's very, very, very akin to the stuff I do with stained glass window stuff. So then I get up here in this other area over here, and I get this mountain. Okay, so I started with the mountain, and I have been forewarned that Twitch apparently doesn't like when you do anything with graphic nudity or anything like that. So we will see. We will see what happens, because a lady came out of my mountain. So we'll see what happens when I get her sketched. I'm going to try not to actually say what it is I'm sketching. If you can see what I'm sketching, then oh well. Then I guess you'll know. You'll know. You'll know. I'm getting better at not killing my paper with the blue pencils. I'm getting a little better at it. It also helps that I've done not a lot of these. But the more I do them, the more of them that I've done, the less insecure I am, or worried about what am I doing, and am I doing what I'm doing? Is what I'm doing correct? That kind of thing. Okay. That'll be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Yeah, it's the advertising more than anything. Twitch is the least bad of those. You want to just check your streaming. Yeah, like I mean, there's nothing really, I don't find there's anything too graphic here. I mean, I know what this is. A belly, a butt, that kind of thing. So, unless someone's actually watching right now and actually reports me, I can't imagine anyone actually having like an issue with it. Really, they'd have to like really know. Okay, so I think that I'm almost done with this part. So down here, the last part of the haiku is to sleep away day. So of course, in contrast, I've got the moon and a star at the top, and then now I've got over here, I of course I come in with my sun, a little bit of just sun rays, and of course, no shock, I've got this whole Egyptian theme kind of look visual going on with this piece. It's just what happened when I do stuff, depending on what I do. I'm like, where was I? Oh, yeah. So my sleeping figure was one of those things where I started it off to be a woman. And Yeah, well, kind of sort of looks like a woman. It really, I gotta get in here because I don't, oh, there we go. I'm like, where did my line go? So I ended up with this very horse-like figure down here actually sleeping, as opposed to it being a woman, which is fine because that's kind of the point. I don't want it to be perfect, and I certainly don't want it to be exact real. I have definitely no interest in that. So you can't really see. I was like, I should put the piece down below. I feel like my moon needs to be over more. Like, I think it's too skinny. Where's haiku? I am going to try to move this down real quick because I can't really see it from up there. Okay, sort of getting better. You would think I hadn't been doing this for a week, like I'm like new at this. Okay, so there's my haiku. So I've got my moon up here, and of course I don't know what I'm going to do next. I do know that I'm not going to leave it like this, but I don't want to. Yeah, there's the there's a woman. That's kind of part of my mountain. A lot of that stuff's going to come out. I mean, where we go? Yeah, there we go. So there you go. That's the basics. That's the simple basics of it. The other day, when I was doing this other piece, where am I at on time? Okay. I ended up totally going all kinds of ways about it. And I'm pretty excited about where it went. Okay, so this is one of the haikus, and what I'm gonna do, since I'm here, is I'm gonna go to the next one. Haha. I'm going to do the pencil part of both of these. Okay, so this haiku says, "Kiss my heart softly with your delicious lips kiss, while we plunge in deep." This is the newest haiku, the newest of my haikus. I wrote this actually just for this particular series. The graphic, the illustration I did, the actual artwork that's going to be on a single sheet is this here. Then I get into this today, and let's see. Yeah, so this is the top where it talks about kiss my heart softly, and then we've got with your delicious lips kiss, and then at the bottom it says while we plunge in deep. I'm so excited. This one is pretty exciting because it's very different. Like the three different panels, in my opinion, are very strikingly different. Very, very, very strikingly different. And it's kind of funny. It's cool because it's all one haiku. It's all about one haiku. But the artwork and the sketches that came out of me today when I was sitting with this and musing, what I did, it's similar to when I sat to do the actual artwork for the other part. I sat with the haiku and I would say it to myself while I was sketching, and then whatever came out of me would come out of me. And then I've had a few pieces though, like the darkness one. That one I actually used a painting I had done years ago, because when I sat with that one, that painting, one of my prior paintings came to mind, and I enhanced it and used it as a guide. It's not exactly the same. So the first thing we've got going on here is a pair of lips that are sort of in the shape of a heart. You know, some of what I'm going to do, because this is who I am, is girly. You know, it's super girly, super Nagel. If you don't know who Patrick Nagel is, you can go look him up. I definitely have Patrick Nagel influences in my work. I like to believe that I channel Georgia O'Keeffe when I do flowers. I mean, I'm sure I'm nowhere near. I'm nowhere near her level. Whew, that woman can draw a flower. And of course, my favorite, Gustav Klimt. My all-time favorite is Gustav Klimt. And then it was so funny. I was laughing today because every single one of these has some kind of nudity in it. And I was like, I'm like, you got too much nudity? And then I'm like, nah. I don't think Gustav Klimt ever sat back one day and said, you know, my paintings have too much. And I know I've got the wrong accent. Totally wrong accent. Anyway, I'm sure Gustav never sat back and said, I should use less women. I should use less nudity. I doubt he ever had that conversation with himself. So anyway, so this piece up here is the piece that talks about kiss my heart softly. And of course, it's just real simple. It's real literal, actually. A pair of lips in the shape of a heart. And then down here, I've got a female form. Definitely not planned, really. I just had this visual that came out of me. The fun part, I mean, this is pretty fun, but it should be pretty fun to get to the stage where I'm adding color. Where'd it go? So there's that. Real basic, real simple. You can see where, there we go. Don't know if I want to do anything in this corner, but I might. We'll see. Okay, so then the center panel is real simple because that line is with your delicious lips kiss. So it's a long line. I mean, it's 7 syllables, but so what I did is I took the middle part of this, which inspired the entire thing, and I just basically recreated it in the middle of the panel. And that way I've got plenty of room on this one for that text. Because a lot of the text in the haikus, there's not a lot. I won't need a lot of room, but this one I will. So I didn't want it to be a real, like, a lot of, I didn't want the work, the art to be a lot. It didn't need to be. It just needed to be simple to go along with that line. And so that's what I got. It actually took me longer to get these lips, and I still, am worried that I'm not going to get it exactly right. But it took me a while to get it here, to scale it to where I wanted it to be like I liked. But that's okay. It's really kind of okay, basically, because the other day when I was sketching those lovers in this kiss, I was having such a good time with them. I was like, oh, they became this real life pair to me, really, when I was sketching them the other day. And that's just how a lot of my artwork ends up. It becomes like a living thing. It's kind of like when I read a book. When I read a book, characters in books become like real people to me. And even my oldest son was cracking up at me because we were talking about
we were talking about this book I read ages ago when I was younger, and how I literally, it was like the only time I remember ever actually throwing a book. I threw the book across the room. It was the book, The Witching Hour. It was Anne Rice's The Witching Hour, and I was literally in the middle of this one part about, and it was Michael was the character's name, and I couldn't tell you today what was about to happen, but I do know that whatever it was freaked me out, that I thought he was going to die. I thought Anne Rice was going to kill him in the book. And I got so mad. I got so mad at the idea that she was going to off my character. I threw the book across the room because I couldn't take it. I was stressed. And I'm like, okay. And I had to, and I cried. It was the weird, I can't, I don't even care how I sound. It was the truth. It's what happened. Okay. I had to mourn like this character that hadn't even died yet. And actually he ended up, okay, I shouldn't say what happens, but anyway, in case anybody has never read The Witching Hour, I mean, who are you people? I'm just kidding. So anyway, I had to mourn him. I had to cry, and I had to like emotionally prepare myself for what Anne was going to do with this character. And I had to be ready to face the fact that she might kill him. That she might actually kill him in the book. I was so worried that she was going to kill him. I was so worried. Yeah. And yeah. So anyway. So I'm telling my oldest boy this story, and he's typical 18-year-old teenage boy. Well, he's not a teenager anymore, but he's like, "Oh my God, Mom, really? Like for real? Like really? Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, no, I'm serious, man. I'm like, I for real was upset. Like I for real thought she was gonna kill him, and I was gonna be devastated. Devastated. Just devastated. Oh, what is going on here? I don't like. Okay, let me see. Now, if I can just do the nose correct, I'll be good. That, fucking nose. The inevitable crazy. We gotta fucking do a human nose. We gotta do a human nose in this painting. Ugh. Of course, it's like anything else. It takes me forever to get it the way I want it. No. Stop. Sometimes I just have to put in the stronger lines to stop myself from fucking with an area. Not even gonna lie. So that's pretty much it. Oh, I got her hair over here. funny, like when I'm up close, I'm like, what did I do? It doesn't make any sense to me what I'm doing here. And then I come back from it. I come back away, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I see. So that's for the second line. That's for with your delicious lips kiss. So now at the bottom, okay, so this is all over the place down here. It's probably the busiest thing I did. And we will see. Oh, it's, yeah, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun. So I started with the idea of a woman diving into water. So that's kind of the image in my head. And then what came out of it is pretty close. Pretty close. She's not diving. But she is in a position where she has control of the water around her. And because the line is while we plunge in deep. And so she's definitely in a position to do what she wants with that, whatever she wants with it. And so, yeah, she's going to come to life. This is one of those pieces that earlier when I was looking at it before I got to this phase, obviously I waited till come on to do this part. But when I was looking at it earlier, I was like, I can see me doing this on a canvas. The colors that I would put to this would be it'd be probably a lot of ocean blues, and it wouldn't be the first time that I've taken a woman and Mother Ocean and put them together to represent some things for myself of my own heart, things I like, things I believe. She definitely reminds me of Angel, one of my pieces called Angel. She also reminds me of, oh God, what is the name of that piece? I'm trying to remember. A couple of them. So. I definitely like that a lot of the erasing that goes on in my world happens when I'm doing the blue part, not this. Because by the time I get this done, like by the time I'm doing what I'm doing, what you guys are watching me doing, I know exactly what I want line-wise or what I'm going for. This area over here, it just took me quite a different few tries before I liked what I was doing. I know when I do the colors, when I get to the colors part, that and this, they're waves basically, and they also have some features of a seagull, a bird's head basically. There will be a bird's head probably somewhere in there. Partially because it's a pair of birds, basically. Pair of birds, pair of the symbolism of it. The haiku talks about plunging in deep, and we're talking about these two lovers, and we get to this part of the haiku panel, and basically that's what came out of me was like, okay, so the one human form we've got in the center, and then I've got the two waves and the two birds things I've got going on here that will also come out of me. course, it's probably no bird like really that exists in real actual nature, because it just came out of my thought process for when I did the wave first, and then part of the wave made me think of a bird's head, and that's where it went, because that's just what I do. That's just what I do. Oh, shoot. I like these mechanical pencils. Okay. To my birds. My bird's eyes. Boy bird, girl bird. Boy girl. Where'd it go? Oh yeah. Flipped it over. Flipped it around. Okay. There's that. And this line here. And there we go. So that's the other haiku. So yeah, so there you go. That's pretty cool. That worked out pretty cool. And so it should be pretty interesting. Where am I at on time? Oh, there we go. Feel. Where am I going with this? 3 sekunder mer. Okay. We're going to go back to this one. So I get, oh, I know. Okay. So just as a special treat, because I'm done with those for as far as I'm going to go with them. So I did this the other day, and I am going to just take up the last 20 minutes here and show you guys where I'm at on this one. This one is for the poetry collection book that the one called This Is Not Emotional Burlesque. It's not for the haiku series. Let me see, where's the best? Oh, they're upside down. Okay, so basically what we've got is a woman and a man. This is actually based on a painting of mine that I had done a long time ago. And there's a woman and a man. The woman is pregnant. They are literally coming out of a tree. They're tree people, don't you know? And so I sketched this one. I did use my original painting to kind of go to get started with the outline of it the other day, but I have gone so all over the place with this now. Like I am so it's still very similar to the original. It's still very, very similar, and it's very, very different. Like very, very different. And so what am I gonna do? Yeah. So I figured, because all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take I've got my charcoals out, and these pieces for this other poetry collection that I've got, these are the ones that because they're not part of the haiku series, I hope to leave them in sketched black and whites. And so all I'm really doing with this piece all I've got left to do to it is add detail here and there that I want, shading that I want, and then I will use some blacks, maybe some inks, charcoals, whatever, to finish it. I don't plan on using color on it, but then again, I have been known to change my mind. I have been known, especially when it comes to color. I'll be the first to own and admit that I am not a fan of leaving things in black and white. And it's just so much of my work is in super, super vivid colors. So much of it is vivid on purpose. And so it will be difficult. It will be very difficult for me to leave it in black and white. This is not the right pencil. I don't want that pencil anymore. I want something that actually has, there we go. I was like, that was a pencil. I mean, it's still a charcoal pencil, but some of the weights are, I mean, you might as well just be using a regular pencil. This is what I want. I wanted a charcoal that was going to add some stronger black to this. So yeah, similar to the other piece I did for the haiku, it's no shock that a bird theme kind of thing came out of me when I was looking at the waves, because the same thing happened with this piece. So this piece ended up, because this couple's in a tree, and the other day so I'm sketching it, right, and I'm recreating it, and of course, you know, I don't really have a plan, and the piece, the art itself usually will tell me what's supposed to be there. And I'm not saying like it actually says something to me, but it just comes out, or my eyes will see something. It'll see something, and then I just go with it. And so I was doing this the other day, and I got these very strong floral kind of thing going on, a pod. I don't know. I keep seeing these pods. Probably because she's pregnant. Probably because I'm thinking about butterflies or, you know, stuff like that. And so I keep seeing these visuals of pods, and so that was coming out of me. And then I keep seeing birds. There's a very feather thing going on in my brain with this one. And the cool thing about it is that it doesn't even have to be really anything, you know? It's just an idea. Honestly, really, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. What I'm doing over here is busy work to just fill up the page, because the real emphasis is this couple. And when I get to them, it's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing everything around them. Because when I do get to them, I want to have a visual of what their environment is and where they are. And yeah, that will have a lot to do with how I put final finishing touches on them. It's just the way. That's what's going to happen. Hold on. I don't know if you can see him, but there is a bird head beak thing going on over here. He just came to me out of the page. His eye came to me a while back, but so I like what I see. I was on my way out, but wanted to say good night. Good night, Pops. Hello. You missed the panels. So I real quick, there's one. And I know you will get the full details of all of those as this whole thing happens. So thank you for stopping by. Because I am just about done. I think I'm just going to finish this corner over here. And then I'm going to probably sign out. Because I really just kind of wanted to enjoy this one. I think this one's probably going to take me a while. And it's probably one of those ones that I'll get out and work on for part of whatever when I'm on here, just to fill up my hour. Of course, I don't really need to do that. I could just sign off right now. You know, I was on for 2 hours doing my oil painting today. I almost called it stupid. I almost said stupid oil painting. It's not stupid. It's just, I don't know. I like him. I love him. I hate him. I love oils. I hate oils. They're annoying me. They're filthy and they're dirty and they're painstaking and it took me forever to clean up after I worked on that oil painting earlier. You know. I'm loving this piece, which is no shock because I have a few of my original pieces that, I mean, I love all of my work. And when I say that, I'm not talking about like, I think it's like some wonderful creative technique skill set thing. I'm talking about what they are about, what the paintings are, who or what they represent. Because a lot of them, especially this piece, they came at, you know, when I did the original of this. Yeah. It was very personal. A lot of it's very personal. And the poem, the reason I pulled this out to use it for the book to illustrate the poem that it goes with is very personal. And it's about two lovers metamorphosizing outside of the norms of what this world says that love should be, or what relationships should be. It goes outside of all of the constraints of what people assume or what people think. And the poem is about all of that. And so when I was thinking about an illustration to go along with that for the book, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I want. And that's why I pulled this one out and recreated it from that piece. And so far it's coming off exactly how I want. Exactly how I want. Woo. And if, because I never say never, if I do decide to add color to any of these, since I've already kind of went old school back to where, you know, done some of my charcoal stuff from what I used to do, the way I used to do charcoals, I might get my watercolor pencils out, or I might get my other pencils out. I have a couple of different kinds of pencils that allow me to get in there with some shading and different coloring and different things I like to do with the paint or with the colors. I also considered using watercolors, because believe it or not, I could seal this paper so that this stays exactly the way it is, and then use watercolors to paint this, and then seal it again. Now that is a process that I love, and none of that work, because that would be a lot. It would be a lot. None of that scares me. It doesn't scare me off at all. You are smiling about them. I am. I am. Son of a bitch. I basically like to eat yeah. So, oh yeah. This whole flower thing up here, whatever this is, it's definitely not in the original, but it just blew up in my brain when I was doing the sketching on it. And I was just instantly like, yeah, I know exact. That's going to work. I'm doing that. I'm doing that up there. So yeah, I think I'm going to finish that piece and then I'll sign off. Because I kind of want to see, I'm kind of curious. I want to see it with the darker lines because I just did a real rough outline kind of a thing of what I had in mind for it. And now I kind of want to get an idea of what it's going to look like with the strong black lines. I might actually, what I was thinking was I might take one of my other, because I have a bunch of practice pieces that I started with. I might take one of those and do a watercolor just for curiosity reasons, just to see. And yeah, I don't know who's still there, if Pops or Mike, but I did digitally color chrome because I just was practicing. I don't know the first thing about coloring on a computer, doing color on a computer, and I don't think I want to, honestly. I've tried. I did that one. It's real basic. I know, super simple. I don't know. Part of it has nothing to do with not having anything against digital. It had none of it has anything to do with that. It's just my medium, my outlet, my connection to the art. It's always been hands-on. It's just always been hands-on. So it's kind of hard for me to wrap my mind around it, and my mojo to get into it. I tried. I really tried. Even when I was trying to like use one of the apps to do kind of more of a graphic illustration, I kind of liked just taking the basic scans of the pieces, the artwork, doing some contrast changes to them, and that, maybe an effect. I did do an artistic effect on a few of them, and that was good. That was good for me. That was good for me. I don't need it to be much different than that. I don't know. It's just me. I guess it's just me. I think everybody's different. Every artist is different, I'm assuming. Okay, I am going to switch to, where's that other one? Yeah, see, this would be an example. Okay, because I can't help myself. I can't help myself. See, that would be an example of just the putting in color. That right there, that just pleases my soul at this deep soul level. Like, I can't explain it. I can't explain it, but it just, other than showing you and being like, look at what I'm doing. I'm adding color. I just said I wasn't gonna. I couldn't help myself, come across one of my watercolor pencils that is actually in the wrong cup. It's in my cup with my charcoals. Clearly in the wrong cup. So, I'm going to blame it on the cup. Oh, yeah. I could already see it. I'm probably going to color this with pencils. I will probably color this with pencils. I'm just saying. See? Can you see? Oh, super excited. Super excited. Shade this a little more over here. Makes me think of what's the name of that movie? Little Shop of Horrors. That's what this flower makes me think of. It's Little Shop of Horrors. Love that movie. Love, love, love that movie. My brother, oh my God, I lost count of the number of times my brother put that movie on. Or if I put it on. Definitely one of the best, one of the good ones. All right. That, I believe, is all I'm going to do for today. That is my piece so far. My couple coming out of the tree. If you can see. Let's see. I know this is one of those times where it's like, definitely. So there. So this one is one of my work in processes, and it's kind of cool because I needed something to make me take breaks between the pieces for the other poetry collection, because I was, you know, I'm not saying that the haikus are easy, because they're certainly not. They're definitely not. They're definitely not. And so these two that I did, super happy with the whole concept. I'm super happy with it. And really looking forward to what's going to come out of here when I do the other 8. So, because I have 10. There's 10 in the volume. And so should be pretty interesting to see what happens, because, you know, this is going to be with the same poem that this talks about. So in each of the volumes, you're going to, you know, the person, who in the world wants to read haiku poetry, whoever that person is, will get to read it like in this form, in this storytelling form, as well as with an image that just represents what that poem means to me. So that's pretty cool. And even if it's just for posterity reasons or my own joy, I love it. I love it. I'm so super ecstatic. Like, I already knew I was going to illustrate this collection, and I had already been working on some of those illustrations, but to actually do an actual storytelling type of graphic presentation of the poems, you know, Pops gave me that idea, and this is what happened. This is what happens. I started with the haikus because I told myself, oh, well, I'll just do the haikus first and get those out of the way. And then they ended up turning into a whole other project and a whole other series. And now I'm like, they just can't, it doesn't make any sense for them to be in the other collection, just based on how I did them and how they came out of me. And that's just what happens with my artwork sometimes. The artwork dictates its presentation. It dictates to me how it should be presented. You know, and that's just what happens. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That's what happens. I love these people. These couple, like, they're not even like really technically human. You know, the idea of this particular painting is that these are not humans. They're tree people that are part tree, part human, part. And in this case, now in this representation, chances are by the end of this, I'm going to throw some symbolism in there of them being part flower, part, you know, very Avatar feeling. Like, this painting actually was long before that movie came out, the Cameron movie. But it definitely, I can see my brain kind of picking up on some of that a little bit now when I think about it. So yeah, so there you go. That's where I'm at on those projects, and that's where I'm at with the haikus. And thank you so much for joining me, and have a great, wonderful day.